Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to our, or welcome back, more like, to our Wednesday chores streams. It's been a while. I think since, like, latest July, I want to say. Welcome, welcome, folks. Let me pop you all over into the game. There we go. I can tell by the number of audio tracks that just popped into OBS that we are in the right place. So, hey guys, how's everybody? I'm gonna take a quick look at the chat list here. Dude, just look away from the camera for that. We have Carp42 and Sulston, White Doe. Welcome, welcome, Joshua Saruta, Katie Cat, Oak Tree. Good to see you, Oak Tree. Thanks for being here tonight. We've got Ryuga, Josh Webb for their first live stream. Welcome, Josh. Good to have you here. We have Lithios. Oop, and chat just jumped. We have Lithios. Where is that? Here we go. We have Giovanni. Welcome, welcome. We have Edaigoa. That's a new name. Welcome. Daniel Alfrey. Oh, Greg Famanguista. Signusia X1. Wow. A lot of new and familiar faces. And I just want to pause here before we go too much farther and extend a shout out and thanks to Sulston tonight. We were talking and he was like, hey, I want to send a raid your way. And so we spent some time setting it up. And it looks like it didn't quite work the way we expected it to. But it was a valiant effort. And thank you 1,000 times, Sulston. So if you all are here from Sulston's stream, pop a big ol' S in chat. That's S like in Sulston. And let me know. And thanks for being here, guys. Now we have chores and 20 questions. I have a few more questions than we did last time, which is great. And I want to go. I'm going to dump all of our gear here. Well, the building gear. Maybe I'll take this out though. Bring that with us. So I don't forget this time. Let's go ahead and drop you. And we'll bring this stuff over to base. Yeah, chores galores. Sulston, you weren't at that stream. Liar. Cool, we got a few people who came over to Sulston's stream. That's great. If I didn't have work and dinner on Wednesday evenings, I would absolutely come and hang out with you guys there. I wanted to go downstairs and drop off these. And maybe we'll put you, I guess, here and there. Antilunis combustus. That's right. Okay, let's see. We got plenty of sticks. You know, sticks. How are we on stickage? We are pretty good on stickage. So we're going to be doing trees, bees, and kind of babysitting the pulverizer a bit. Let me go see if that's even on. I didn't hear it running. It should be running. I hope it's running. It is running, okay. We'll want to check back here like maybe every, I don't know, 10 minutes to make sure that there aren't any bits that are kind of sitting out on the edge here. If I can get up there. They shouldn't get stuck with this frame around them, but sometimes they can. In the last guide series, they would get stuck here sometimes, so... Oh, that is slow. It feels so slow. That's fine. So yep, trees and bees and babysitting. Oh, I should also mention, on the topic of trees, I have brought over a new / familiar mod, new to this series, familiar to us. Hello. I'm getting oranges. Huh, cool. I put back on the whole lot of tree seeds mod, and I'll reiterate this during the main stream on Sunday, but I modified it so it only affects one type of tree. You guessed it, these right here. I figured the other trees I don't really have trouble getting seeds from, and even the purple hearts, like I'm not super invested in purple hearts this season. I don't know what I would use them for yet. So since these are just decorative, I figured it was safe to pop it on here and not really worry about like changing the game's balance drastically. So I did that. I've also got a better seed visuals, which changes the inventory appearance of seeds. Let me go and show you guys that one. Josh Webb is the task stream. Yes, so this is a chores stream, hence the title of the stream. And that means that we're not like building stuff. We're doing chores and chatting. But anyway, as you can see from here, this mod kind of adjusts the positioning of the, and probably the size of the bag of seeds, so you can tell them apart at a glance a lot better without having to mouse over them all. So I like it. I'll probably keep that for the next guide season, whenever that happens. Get a bite to eat. Munch, munch, munch. Hey, you guys. How often do Germans snack? Munch mal. I think I hit you guys with that one before. It just does kind of require knowing a bit of German. We have Hopeful Neko here. Welcome, welcome. Head of Lead. Josh Webb says boo. Okay, let's grab the Treeinator. There we go. I'll get both Treeinators. Let's get the Beeinators. We need the knife to get combs from the actual apiary. I want some of you. And probably some of you. And we are like swimming in reeds and papyrus right now, so we're good there. Let's grab some blue clay from the basement. Let's just grab a stack. Oh, that's fire clay. That's 14. Oh my goodness. Get back in there. You will not go. Why are you... What is going on here? Ah! For some reason it got stuck and wouldn't let me put things back in. Okay. Yikes. Okay, let's go get the bees first. I figure we'll harvest them now, and then after the trees are done, we can go and take a look at them again and see if they can be harvested a second time. See, I think we... So we will do capox. We won't shear the capox or the acacia. We'll just cut and replant. We will shear some of the ebony, actually all the ebony, and the purple heart. And I might... Yeah, I'll replant them. I might plant them somewhere else, because I don't really think we need purple heart much. So... Yeah. Alright. You go there. Oh, you guys. I'm going to break these things first. Actually, no, no, because the bees will annoy me. Alright, so we have to do a bunch of stuff. We got to put our backpack down. Okay. Alright, backpack down. Got to lift you off of here. You can go there. And then we grab you. We put you down here, I think? I mean, no. We do something. Pick up in bag slot, pick up in bag slot. Place matching brood box to create a brood box. Did I put you here? Nope. How did we open this thing last time? Oh. Oh, so if your cursor is not on the bag slot, it will actually open the top. Now you have invisible frames. I've heard of that bug being a thing. Come here. So I did notice that it is too hot for these the bees to work in summer right now. So that is one of the downsides, I think, to this mod, is that it is a bit more realistic in that normally in Story the bees won't work when it's cold, but they're fine when it's hot. This changes that quite dramatically, I would say. Alright, so we got pretty good haul from that. All right. So I have no room for any of this. You go here. All right, back in you go. The fiddliest, diddliest little mod you ever did see. Supposedly they're doing a couple more types of hives at some point in the future, but that is down the road. Okay, so we need to right-click. We need to... Nope. We have to actually be on the bag slot. Alright. So, I guess since it's probably below 40 now, they are scouting for flowers. But once it's above 40, I think they'll stop. Stop playing ball. There we go. Alright, let's get some of these guys going on. Do 4 at a time. Alright. The harvesting, the aesthetic of the mod is real nice. It's just the game, like the fiddliness in game that I object to. Like, gorgeous, wonderful mod, you know, very realistic. There's just there's a barrier between what's realistic and what's fun, you know, sometimes in games. Does the finicky hive have greater output? Per block? Yes. Like you get a single stack of blocks, and you can stack these like 10 or 12 high, and you have like 10 frames per box in here, and it gets pretty nutty pretty quickly. It's more for being able to like walk away from your bees for like a year, and just harvest them once in a year. That's kind of what this mod lets you do, more than anything else. Oh, we were missing one apparently. I guess we will just not harvest one. No, you know what? We'll make one more. And we'll harvest the corners on this side. Let's see. You're a corner. All right. There we go. So while we're starting here, I'm going to dive into our first 20 questions. Actually, more like 6 question tonight. We have our first one from Lake Filter, who had a question about brown pants moments. AKA, well, you all know what brown pants moments are. So he said, what are some of the most memorable jump scare moments you've had across all media? So I don't typically engage in jump scare activities, but I did make the decision at one point in the past to play the original Dead Space game. And yeah, that jump scary. A little bit jump scary. And it wasn't me. I mean, I was being jump scared, sure. It was the girlfriend I had at the time was in the room with me, and she was like on the other side of the room. And every time one of like the crazy mangled corpses on the ground would move, she would absolutely shriek from across the room. And that just stuck with me forever. It was pretty funny. I'm usually the one doing the jump scaring in real life. Like, I'll be the one who hides around corners and like jumps out at my wife. Because I'm a nice guy like that. Vale's asking, have I noticed a debuff from two-headed drifters? I have not. Poultices, salves, HP food don't work after printing them. Haven't noticed that. Sometimes I have noticed that health or food can get stuck in general. So, that's a thing, but not specifically double headers. And Greg's got a question. How you doing? I'm doing all right. A bit of a normal day, I guess. Had D&D last night. How long is the stream? The stream is going to be an hour to an hour and a half. I do kind of short streams just because I typically just do trees and bees. We did do some hammering, I think, last time. Made a lot of iron ingots from blooms. If we get through all the trees and we still have time left, and it's not like 10:30, then we'll maybe do some hammering. Who are you currently running in my D&D campaign? I assume you mean like what am I playing? Because I'm running for 4 friends, but we rotate the DM role between us. I am currently playing it's a class that came out of one of the Dragon magazine books. It was a modification to the Ranger called the Mystic Ranger. And in my opinion, it is what the Ranger in 3.5 should have been. So we played D&D 3.5. It's kind of like the 5th edition Ranger in that you get a lot more spells than you normally get in 3.5. The trade-off is that you don't get access to martial melee weapons. You only get simple. Excuse you, Drifter. And she's... So her name is Laith Dentarian. She is a Forest Lord Elf, which means that at some point in her ancestry, one of her, 8 great-grandparents made a pact with a green dragon. And basically our heritage, our family line gained a few traits. The main one being that we are able to... goods. We are able to sort of step into a tree and teleport to a nearby tree and step out of it. In return, if we harm a green dragon, we get like a minor penalty for like a day. It's whatever. It's like, oh no, I harmed a green dragon. -1 on attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks. How will I ever survive? Now you went in just fine. That was weird. Darkness made it. Hey, Darkness. Welcome, welcome. What's my most memorable dad moment? Gosh. I'm going to probably say that there was the moment when Kurizini was born. And... those of you who are parents, you probably know this feeling. But you see this little, like, teeny tiny little baby that looks kind of more like a wet rat than a baby. But you look at it and you go, I might not start a war for this child, but I would absolutely end one. Like, that moment just stuck with me, and every time I think about, like, our upcoming hospital trip for Kurizini number 2, that's sort of the person that comes to mind. I'm like wondering, will I get that same feeling again? If we rotate the DM each session, do we have an overarching storyline? So we don't rotate each session. We rotate each adventure, and that can be anywhere from like 4 to 20 sessions in some cases. So some of them can take a good chunk of the year. Let's see, since we're babysitting, let's run back. Actually, let's empty this first. Let's run back. We'll grab the bauxite, and maybe we did 8 of those. So we'll grab 8 stacks of bauxite and 8 stacks of olivine, or as close as we can. Then pop those in there, and then we'll go do some trees. Oh, we got some great visibility here too today. As I recall, we put our junk up here. Yes, we'll just tuck you down here while the chickens freak out beneath us. We could also maybe make a task of calling the chickens. Calling, not like calling, like chicken, come here. Calling, like, bad stuff. I'm like sitting there going, where is the bauxite? Oh, right, I left it in slab form. Alright, I'll tell you what, let's grab... Let's just do this, yeah, we'll do the slabs first. I think I have... Yes, I made one of these weirdo hammers over here. Alright, so... Oops, no, right click. Requires a... Why does this require a hammer? This is a hammer. Developer. JT Bullington is here and asking, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do as a day job? I work in software, web development. So I call myself QA, or sometimes just analyst. the reality is I do everything that isn't the code. So I do all the mock-ups and design work. I write requirements. I write test scripts. I test the site. I interface with customers. I make changes on production when the customer requests it. I do everything but write the code. Although sometimes I do sit with the developer and help them write code when they're like, hey, Corzar, I just can't find this bug. What am I doing wrong? Do I make a pretty penny or no? I make an alright penny. I get by. Can't just swing the large hammer, you gotta have the small one to tap the large one. Yeah. Boy, that really burned through durability fast. My goodness. That gave me less than I was expecting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... okay, never mind. It's okay. I don't know for sure if that's more or less than we would get if we just, like, mined the stone by hand. Now we do have... yes, here we go. That should be 8 full stacks right there. Alright. Let's go. We'll make 2 trips. We'll drop off the bauxite, drop off the olivine, and then we'll come back later. We'll also eat while running. Watched a goofy YouTube video of a guy, a doctor, like, showing you can't outrun calories. Like, as in, you can't, like, really effectively exercise away boatloads of calories. So he was showing, like, how long it would take, you know, running at X miles per hour to burn through calories for this food or that food. And he's just on a treadmill, like, stuffing his face with popcorn and burgers and stuff. It's just really funny. And he was trying not to laugh the entire time. Get some light back in our hand. Get the olivine. So our second 20 question from Discord comes from Skettlecob, who asks, why and how did I learn German? Why? Well, there's 2 whys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we'll do it. Well, you know what we'll do? 48. That way we have an even number that will stack well. So the original reason I learned German was that in high school we were required to take a certain number of years of language class. I think it was like 3 years of language. And I took French in middle school and then the first 2 years of high school. But I got kind of tired of French. I really wasn't interested in reading like doing French literature, which is what we were getting into. I could not stand it. So I was like, shoot, I gotta learn language. Spanish seemed too much like French. And I was like, no, too close. And German was the only other language we had as an option. Because they did have Latin, but it wasn't at a time that I could actually like take it. Do we have an extra axe? We don't. You know what? Let's go make an axe. We'll do 1 axe, and then we'll get to work on the trees. This game really is like, if you give mouse a cookie. Hey, I want to do this. Oh, well then you got to do that. If you want to do that, then you got to do that thing over there, and so on and so forth. All right, and yes, I'm going to do 1 ingot and 1 piece of fuel. That's how I roll. Not really. If you've seen my short, you know it's not really how I roll. So I learned German for a year in high school, and I got to the point where I could basically, like, you know, ask for a burger or whatnot, or, you know, where's the toilet? But then in my senior year of high school, which when I took the German class, I was encouraged to check out the Rotary International organization for like a year abroad, and I was like, yeah, I could do that. And at the time, I was a real big weeb. I'm not going to say whether I am still a weeb or not, but back then I was a real big weeb, and I was like, oh, I'd love to go to Japan. So on the application form, I filled out as my first choice Japan, Second choice, also Japan. Just kidding. I picked, like, I don't know, Romania and something else. Sweden, I think. And when my application got processed, they came back and said, "Hey, you're going to Switzerland." And I'm like, "Oh, it wasn't even on my radar." So I said, I went with it. I was like, "Sure, fine, it's cool." It turns out it was a great thing. I spent a year in Switzerland. I lived near Zurich. I was about 5 train stations away from Zurich, and spent a year living and breathing and being a Swiss high school student. Let's see. Yes, the termite mound has always been there by the mill. One does not simply renounce their weebness. Yeah, we've totally never talked about anime on these streams ever. It just never happened before. Right, guys? Right. But yeah, that is how and why I learned German. So thank you to SkettleCob for the question. So Solson's been to Switzerland too. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't get to go to Geneva at all. Well, I was there for like a day when we first got there, and they're like, "Hey, we're doing a big meeting thing. Everyone get on the train. We're going." It was really cool. So Rotary really sort of thinks of everything in a way. There were some students from other organizations who kind of had it a little bit rougher in that, like, they weren't given as many tools to get around and do stuff and experience life in Switzerland. Oh, Oak Tree with a dad joke. I was in Lucerne but did not see any hammers. I get this. This burns my heart. Good dad joke. Solid dad joke. 40 out of 10. Would dad again. Caleb Gray coming in with, "Am I a family man?" I am a family man. I am married to Curazette, and we have 1 child, Curazini. And we have 2 child, Curazini 2, I guess. Curatuni, coming through eventually. Grab some tree seeds. Eventually being around the new year. Tree seeds. Tree seeds? No. What the? Some tree seeds. Ah, tree seeds. Okay. Whew. I don't think we have any spare ebony or purple heart seeds. And I think I'm going to go spam these guys, since we have a higher chance of getting seeds. I'm going to plant these, and so we can sort of build up a collection of these for eventually. How do I manage time to game with job and family? Well, I work in at 8 to 4 or 8:30 to 4:30. I am never asked to work overtime. We have a very generous leave and just general scheduling policy. Basically, I mean, usually, as long as there's no crisis going on, if I need to take an hour or 2 or part of a day off, like on almost no notice, I usually can. But we also, Curazette and I both have a lot of like single-player hobbies. She watches a lot of TV shows that I don't like, and she plays a lot of single-player games, and so do I. And so we're both kind of. I don't want to say we definitely don't live separate lives or anything, but we both have single-player things that we like to do, and that we don't generally share. She is not a building game fanatic like I am. She does not enjoy things like the other block game, and would not like this game either. Let's spam all these down here. That's right. Tree, 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 tree. We also got really lucky. We have a unicorn kid. This is a girl who she will happily sit in a chair and read books for hours, or get out like a toy and play with it for 45 minutes straight. And once she's down at 8:30, I generally have the freedom to do whatever I want to do. So Definitely part of it is luck, and part of it is we both structure our lives sort of around all our hobbies. We're also big homebodies, like we don't go anywhere. I drove my car once this week. It was so I could get pizza. We are big homebodies. All right. You're first. Hey, we have Nick's Ramaticon here and Micaiah Joseph. This is Nick's Ramaticon's first Chores stream. It's 2:57 a.m. Wow. Are you can't sleep, or like are you done sleeping, or are you about to go to sleep? That's what I want to know. Let's see. Just popping up to look at some chat, make sure I didn't miss anybody here, if I possibly can. Oh, and Seraphim is here. Hey, Seraphim. Good to see you. All right. You are next, Mr. Tree. Our next question comes courtesy of Gpedia, a.k.a. Girish Manjanath, who asks, and I quote, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? The answer is obvious. I mean, come on, really. Do I have to? Do I have to answer this one? Very well. The answer is that Peter Piper's peck of pickled peppers are presently plated pending peckish patrons. Booyah. Booyah. All right. Trees down. Not a lot of wood I'm getting from these guys, but whatever. COB42 is going to ask if our first was into D&D, but yeah, she's too young. She just turned 3. Ooh, Caleb Gray trying to trick me into saying the name of the other block game over here. So Caleb's asking, do I ever play the other block game or just Vintage Story? The last time I ever booted up the other block game was, what about last year? Yeah, last year, April, well, last year, like March something or other, to record the April Fool's episode of the first guide season. Where we built a giant. It makes me chuckle. We built a giant sphinx, except that the sphinx's face was a villager. Solson says I've stumbled over that tongue twister for sure. Yeah, it's I don't usually do tongue twisters that well, but P's I can do. I can do P-based tongue twisters. I can do the woodchuck one. I don't do great with ones that are based around D's or T's or anything else like where you have to like flick your tongue around a lot. I get tripped up on those. Okay, let's go drop off. We'll keep chopping away. Just do some of these acacia trees here. Aesor Ogramira says, I'm just lurking. You prefer to listen to streams in the background while doing other stuff. Hey, well, good to have you here. I mean, absolutely valid. I often put on stuff that I kind of just listen to while I'm like washing dishes and things, so I totally get that. Caleb Gray, do you ever wonder if your channel could be your main job? Boy, do I ever. Boy, do I ever. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Because it's something that I enjoy doing. And like so far, you know, I do put a lot of time into this already. I have a knife here. Whoops. So I do put a lot of time into this, both as a hobby and then like, you know, this makes me a little bit of money on the side, but not really like anything to write home about. I wouldn't last a month on it. Like the channel would have to grow by about a factor of 20 to be something that I could actually do as a day job. But boy howdy would I love that. I've seen a lot of creators who have transitioned from, you know, good old-fashioned grunt work to block games as their day jobs, and it sounds like they have a lot of fun. Oh, we already have acacia. And lots of it. Oh boy. Wood blocks. Okay. I think I might skip getting more acacia for now then. Yeah, let's get some bald cypress instead. And that one we will actually... we'll actually shear first, because I don't have any more seeds for that one. So the acacia gets to live for now. You hear that, guys? You get to live. But yeah, if I could do this as a job, that'd be fun. Ah, you're over there. That's right. So we have a we have a question. We have a question, and I have a roast. I have a return roast for him. Our next question is from KD8LVT, who is one of our moderators here, and I think I'm modder too, right? But not for Vintage Story. We do RimWorld mods, as I recall. Katie, if you're here today, give me a quick message in chat here. I haven't spotted you yet. Make sure I don't miss you if you're here. But Katie8 says something about, hey, I noticed that you're, a fairly decent home cook. What is a favorite and fairly simple recipe of yours? Note that I can't handle dairy and cooked vegetables are the yuck. This was, the question was longer, and it involved an I'm not a picky eater thing, followed up immediately, sir, immediately, by a laundry list of things that you will not eat. So I don't know, I'm not sure I believe the not a picky eater thing, but that's okay. I think my favorite meal that sort of fit all of KD8LVT's requirements, which was sweet over salty and no dairy, and rice is really good, noodles are pretty good too. I settled on a mirin glazed salmon recipe that I really enjoy. I will, KD8, I will go and upload a PDF or something of the recipe to your question if you would like. But it's pretty simple. You get like 4 or 6 salmon strip fillets, and you marinate them in 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, Japanese soy sauce, and mirin, which is Japanese wine, well, cooking wine really. Get your rice going on. Get some scallions chopped for garnish if you like scallions. They don't get cooked, so they're not cooked vegetables, so they won't be yucky. And then once you marinate the fish for like 30 minutes, drop it in a hot pan. You want the water, when you flick it on there, to sizzle and dance around. And you don't use any oil here. The fish has enough oil, assuming you're using a non-sockeye salmon. You want a fatty salmon. Sear it for about 5 minutes each side. During the second half of searing, chuck the rest of the marinade in the pan. And then start reducing that to a glaze. You want it like nice and thick, where you can kind of like scrape your spatula down the middle, and it takes it like a few moments to recombine. That's how you know it's done. Plate it. Drizzle it with some of the glaze, maybe on a bed of rice or next to the rice, and garnish with your scallions. It's a pretty popular winner here at our house. We got exactly 3 seeds. Okay, that's fine. Katie Cat hates noodles and rice in real life. What? What? The cooked vegetables thing I was curious about, so I kept reading. Apparently KD8LVT's objection to them is that they get kind of like gushy, which is definitely a thing, and that can be a texture thing, a texture aversion. I myself have a few. Yogurt being the main one. I hate yogurt. Even with strawberries. But the trick with vegetables, I find, is if you don't want them mushy, and there are a few that I like soft, like if you're doing like a like a pot roast or a stew. You want some nice vegetables that just kind of melt in your mouth. That's actually, I like that a lot. I don't normally, but in a stew like that, I absolutely do. I'm gonna check off a couple things here. We got the bees done, sort of. Let's check the pulverizer after we put some wood away. We'll do that, I guess. Buck, 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 buck. Hello, chickies. All right. But with vegetables, you don't have to cook them till they're mushy. Like, if I do broccoli, I only steam it for 7 or 8 minutes. So it's so it's cooked. It's a little softer. It's not super crunchy, but it's also not like floppy and like falling apart. So, also like zucchini and squash in a pan. My mother used to make zucchini all the time, and I hated it because she would do it like on medium heat in a skillet. And on medium heat, in order to like actually cook the zucchini for to any amount of what you could consider cooked, it turns to gush because it cooks the whole way through. With zucchini, you throw them on high heat, like absolutely. I actually max out my stovetop to do a full skillet of zucchini. And you want those to be jumping and popping like popcorn in there. And a little bit of salt with them too, toward the end. And you just sort of like, you let them sit for like a minute, and then you shake the whole skillet, or flip them with a spatula if you're weenie. And you want them to brown on the outside without getting super cooked the whole way through. That way you end up with a nice, like, crunchy zucchini that's got a bit of sweet on the outside from the caramelization, and then a bit of salt from your salt. I also like some black pepper and some garlic. Ooh, we have 4 of these trees. I forgot. I might not do all these trees. That's a lot. It's a lot of shearing for wood that I'm probably not even going to use, like, ever. Oak tree comes in with deep fried zook slices. I could see that. I don't deep fry stuff. It's such a pain. And I don't want to have a deep fryer because our kitchen's kind of tiny. We have a very awkward kitchen. Like, we have big living room, big den, tiny kitchen. Absolutely tiny kitchen. Ooh, we already got a seed. Very nice. That's why we're here. So yeah, that's my that is cooking with Kurazar. I will absolutely put the recipe up on, at least on Katie8's question. Chat, do you guys actually want the recipe, or should I just post it to Katie8? Aaron Boggs says yes, please. Discord, make a recipes chat. You know, I probably should do a recipes chat, like maybe like a cooking channel. Cooking with Kurazar, Kooky cooking with Kurazar, Kooky cookie cooking. I'm sensing a new Peter Piper over here. Kooky Kurazar cooked a cache of cookies. Ooh, another seed. Very nice. Very, very nice. I do kind of foresee a good amount of ebony in our future for some interior stuff. I feel like ebony and sandstone are a real nice combination. Speaking of cookie things and German question from earlier, so in Swiss German, so in Switzerland, while people do learn what's called High German, aka like proper German, most people, actually everybody, speaks a dialect of Swiss German. And in a country that is smaller than my state, there's a lot of dialects for a really tiny area. And in at least the Zurich dialect, called Zürichdeutsch, there's a word, which is kitchen cabinet. And they kind of do this thing where it's sort of a linguistic hazing, where they'll sort of like test you to see if you can say the word every now and then. Hey, Kurzara, can you say Ashley? And if you can do it right, then they're like, okay, yeah, you're pretty Swiss. Pretty Swiss, all right. They'll keep testing you. They make sure you don't forget how to say that. Is it like Spangle? No, that would be Denglish. Like you're mixing German and English. Swiss German is much more German. I'm gonna quick scroll down our questions here. I got 2 more. All right, cool. Katie Cat is the pickiest of eaters. Well, you and Katie can compare notes. And I'll judge. Okay, let's get some of you. I predict very few seeds from this tree, given how small it is. Oh, did I get one there? No. There we are. Suddenly no music whatsoever. A little spoopy. Don't like it. Can't see any more trees here. It is calm though, so I'll take it. Ooh. It's an official stream, guys. We got a storm rolling in. It's not raining yet, but maybe it will. So our next question is from Sheer Iron Will. When you play the other block game, do you refer to Vintage Story as that other block game? And my answer is absolutely not. What kind of ridiculous question is that? There is only one real block game, and it is Vintage Story. Other block games are just posers. Especially that other one that everyone seems to know. AKA Legos. That is the block game we're talking about, right? Legos? Apparently, the plural of Lego is actually Lego, not Legos. They have it in their official brand guide. Wouldn't mind some more music now. Or soonish. Game. It's a little creepy with that music. Do I have it on? Yeah, I do. Music frequency. Maxed out. Alright. Hey, can someone get me a quarter for the jukebox? Yeah, talking about cleaning up plates here. Signacy X1 will finish their wife's salads, then go back to their own meal. Yeah, that's this house. You know, I've come to realize the true cause of dad bod. It's not that dads are hungry. I mean, we do get hungry. You know, we put up gutter guard to keep rain from getting in the basement again. You get hungry doing that work, so you eat. No, the real reason though is that the wife and the child or children, or I should say, the partner of some sort or other, and the children don't finish their food. I don't want this. It's too yucky. And so you're like, well, we can either throw it out, which seems like a waste, or we can put it away, but it's only like, 3 bites. May as well eat it. So you eat 3 bites of, say, scalloped potatoes or something. And then you get to the next part of the meal. You bust out the, the steak, whatever, and, your wife's like, well, I don't really need that much to eat, so I'm just going to have part of a steak. Well, now you got like, 1/6 of a steak that's going to go bad or take up space in the fridge, and it's not really worth saving. So you have that bit of steak too, and then there's the vegetables, and then there's the dessert that no one can finish. And by the end of it, you've had like an extra, like complete serving of a meal in little bites. And if you had just stopped and said, you know what, let's save all of this together and put it in the fridge. It probably would have worked out fine. But in the moment, you were just like, it's just a few bites, whatever, I can eat it. That is the true cause of dad bod. Okay, well, we are currently net zero on the ebony seeds, and there's like one more tree over here, I think. Maybe two. Or three. Nope, you're bamboo. Look at the map, Corzar. Look at the map. Not a tree. Here we go. We got 1, 2, tree. We got tree. Stolson, get greedy with your food there, huh? So there's a thing, and I don't know if this is the same kind of thing you all have, but it's the drink dilemma of, you get like a soda or a beer out of the fridge, and you have some, right? And you're like, I'm gonna have a soda or a beer with dinner, and then your partner comes along and says, hey, can I have a sip of that? You're like, yeah, sure, you can have a sip. They take a long draft and they go, oh, that's good. You're like, yeah, it's pretty good. And you get a little suspicious, right? And you take a few more bites and you take another sip of your drink, and partner just grabs your drink and continues sipping as if it was theirs. What do you do? What do you do? How do you fix that? Because now the drink that you were planning on drinking, all 12 ounces or all 8 ounces, is now down 3, 4, 5 ounces. What do you do? Alright, so sticks are reloaded in there. I'm probably just going to rest here, just to make it morning so we can see what we're doing. 8 to 12 ounces are rookie numbers. Well, pardon me for not drinking a 2-liter soda in one go, Sulston. Carp 42, you get a new one and leave them to the lesser drink. That is what I settled on the other night when Kurazette stole the last of my prized soda from underneath me and my pizza. So let's see, our last question here comes from Chris BNSJ. And they ask, I started watching your Star Sector series and wondered, have you ever dabbled in space pirates and zombies? So I have not. In fact, I'd heard the name before now, but never really checked it out. So I took a peek. It looks pretty fun. It looks like a fun little game. So at some point when I'm needing a new Star Sector-like fix, but I'm burned out on Star Sector, I could give it a look-see. It seems that there are 2 games, like 1 and 2, and the second one's more of like a 3D, flight sim rather than the top-down of Star Sector. Oak Tree makes 6 to 12 cups of cold brew iced tea at a time. Yeah, that's I do that too sometimes. I'm the only person in the house who drinks iced tea. So when I make it like a mason jar. But I'm not always in the mood for that, and it's a little more work. Although, speaking of more work, we've recently discovered the wonder that is homemade lemonade, like with actual squeezed lemons. Oh man, guys, it's bad. Like addiction levels of bad. We're literally buying, like, every week we buy like 2 bags of lemons, and it's like $2 for a bag, right? And they all go into the lemonade, all of them, just straight in. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to the lemonade. I want to make some limeade too. Matt Brown, what are chores? Are you asking what are chores in the context of the chores stream? Chores are what we're doing right now. We're kind of doing the... Excuse me. Sorry, my throat decided to Dry out there. Guess I could hydrate in a moment here. Basically, we're doing kind of the grunt work that sort of keeps the mainstream going. So tree chopping and some of the less interesting foraging tasks. Where'd my ladder go? I had one, right? I don't know. Ankles! There you are. Yeah, I want to make some limeade sometime. I love limeade. There's a Korean joint near me that used to have a jasmine tea limeade. Guys, I cannot describe anything more, like anything closer to ambrosia than this drink. It was wonderful. Then they stopped serving it, but they still had jasmine tea and limeade. And so I'd order one of each, but that was like $8 for a drink. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Inventory's doing okay, and we have 2 more trees. We might have to make one more trip back, but that's okay. Yeah, I think I might leave these purple hearts. I'm definitely feeling like shearing them is not on the docket anymore tonight. Someday, though, I'll find the build that makes Purple Heart really sing. Autier says, the chores are honestly some of the most enjoyable parts of the game. They can be. There are some that get repetitive for me after a while. Like too much tree chopping. I don't mind doing, like, if I have like 10 chores, I don't mind, and in fact I enjoy swapping between them. Like, oh, I'll go and chop trees today, and tomorrow I'll go and work the farms, and the next day I'll go milk the animals, etc., etc. Now, here's a song I haven't heard in a while. But doing like the same chore for like hours, oof. Actually, I lied. There's one chore I could do for hours, sometimes. Oh, hello, hyenas. And that is quarrying stone the vanilla way. For some reason, I find that satisfying. I know some people think it's murder, but I kind of enjoy it. I do kind of hope that there's, at some point, a vanilla-ish implementation of the quarry mod. I think the quarry mod itself is a little too strong, because the plugs don't really take any durability damage, so you're really getting... Well, I guess you're sort of paying for it on the back end, where you're using the various chisels and the hammer to break the blocks or stones free of the slab. But I think in general, it feels like you're using less durability. But it also is a little too fast? I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Ooh, extra seed. Nice. Alright, tree. You come with me. Alright. We got room for this, sure. Yeah, alright. Room for you, possibly. Possibly. Quarrying isn't fast enough to have a massive build. Yeah, that's why I'm doing the quarry mod for this game. I actually, so as far as like, oops, scrolled off of my shears there. As far as like massive builds go, I actually don't mind the gathering phase, unless I'm doing plaster. Plaster, first season of the guide series, that plaster was murder, absolute murder. So in that case, definitely buy your plaster, or at the very least use the better Firepits mod. But for getting stone, I really don't mind the slog. I did it for my little build on the original RF Fury server. And I got a ton of stone. I got a boatload of stone. Never used it all. Yeah, the quarry mod is nice. It just feels like it's a little too powerful sometimes, especially when you can carry a single slab of 343 stone around. That's a little OP, just a little bit. Reach farther out first. There we go. Pop a ladder here. It does kind of depend on the scale of your overall build. Like if you're doing a build that in the other block game you would want like hyper enchanted gear, like specifically tools to acquire materials for, then yeah, you're going to need the quarry mod, and that's why you have it in this game. But for like even for a big house, like Lupine Ridge, that wouldn't have required the quarry mod at all, even if I made it out of stone. Which I guess in a way I kind of did, but no, just smashed and cooked stone. I'm not sure we'll have room for this guy, but we'll find out. But yeah. That's the skill you're working with, Solson? Yeah, I know. I wish I could have seen what you're working on tonight, but I am caught up as of earlier this evening. So I'm well aware of what you're building. It's a pretty big task you got going on there. Did I plant a tree again? I did. Okay. And I missed the one that was over here. I think there was one right about here that I need to replant. So we got 2 bonus seeds. I'm gonna leave them unplanted for now. Methinks. I'll come right back for the rest of those. My knife is still sitting over there. Don't let me forget that, guys. Some call you a mad lad. Oh, I believe that. Two sets of bronze plugs are better than iron. Better than iron. I'm not sure if I'd say better than iron. But if you already have a pair of bronze plugs, I don't know. Because the thing is, you can get you get larger pallets. So if you're trying to save or like carry as much back as you possibly can, the iron's going to give you a larger pallet. And that's why I'm waiting for the steel, because the steel gives you a pallet of 343, which is huge. Oh, maybe I didn't need to harvest all those trees, guys. I think we're good for a little while. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? What have I done? It's full. Guys, it's full. Oh no. I mean, not the worst thing in the world, but holy moly. Alright, sticks. Any empty? Empty. There we go. 1 stack of sticks for me. Let's go collect our knife, first of all, before I forget that. Excuse you. And Storyteller WMD is here. You gotta leave for work, but you're popping in to say hi. Hey! Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Grab a knife. Grab these bad boys, and let's go see if our bees are ready for harvesting again yet. These guys won't be. We'll only have like 1 frame, if that. It's too hot for the bees to fly. So yeah. Too hot here as well. And... oh, it does affect these. I thought the skeps were... interesting. Unless the heat is something also added by the From Golden Combs mod. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to be getting any bees harvested here today. Well, any more. At least. Okay, well, good to know. So I guess in the desert, life kind of slows down in the summer, which makes perfect sense. These guys are probably a little burned. Not yet. Okay. Want to get them out of the ground as soon as they mature, though. Where am I going? I go check. I think I had a stack of 2 in here. Yes, it did. Okay. While we're here, as our last act of defiance against the Geneva Conventions. Let's see, we have Gen 3s here. All right. I am seeing a rooster. Okay, good. Gen 2. All right. Gen 2. Don't. I'll go to one corner. This white one, what are you? Oh my goodness, too many chickens. What are you? What are you? You're Gen 3. Okay, you're fine. 2. Gotcha. Alright. Stop twitching. Alright. Get a bunch of chickens. Darkness says, bees don't fly if it's above 35 C in the wiki. Oh, so it is a vanilla thing. Interesting. I did not know that. Well, thanks for the information. Geneva suggestions. Yeah. Alright, chickies. Who's next? You. You're a 2. Actually, you're a 1, actually. Wow. You're a 2. Got a bunch of 3s here. Hard to separate you guys, though. 2. The rooster stays. We do not swing the sword when the rooster is nearby. Alright, you guys split up a little bit. Got a 3 and a 2. Got it. Don't do it. You're a 2 as well. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Rustling chickens. There's a 2 in here somewhere. There's a hen, that's a 2. Not you. No, we have too many anyway, so... Kill a few indiscriminately. Oh, come on, why'd you come back? Get out of here. You're safe. This one is a 2. Yeah, up. This is like a game of cups, except that, like, there's no cup to hide under. There's just chickens running around like crazy. You are 3. Rooster's 2. What's the hen underneath you? 3. Okay, stay over there. You're a 3. Which one's the 2? It's you. It's the sort of gray one here. The mottled gray one. The lighter one. Oh, I got the 3 back. Nope. Dude, just stay. I can't hit this thing. Stop. Chickens. The worst nightmare of my life. Oh my goodness. Worse than a temporal storm. Whew. Alright, that was fun. Let's never do that again. We have Keth is here. Burnzilla. Welcome, guys. We are chopping chickens. Or is it Chopin? Chopin. We are composing chickens. Don't give Tara any ideas for drifter chickens. I'll try not to. I do think it would be cool if the animals in a temporal storm were to get more aggressive. That could be fun. Tina Kincannon says the axe is better to kill. It actually isn't anymore. The axe now has a swing time. So, like this. Well, I can't really show it, but... Come It's about like that for hitting chickens now. And the axe doesn't deal enough damage to kill them in one hit, whereas the sword does. Well, this sword specifically. I think if you have less than an iron sword, it doesn't work. I'm gonna guess most folks call you Queth, don't they? Since you said I said it right. Such gratuitous violence, I know. That's why we're here though, right? Well, good deal, Keth. Burnzilla! Burninating the countryside! That's Trogdor, never mind. Alright, who here is young enough like me to remember Trogdor when it was a thing? Not like, you know, Googling it now. 23 chicken steak. Alright. I'm gonna take these eggs too. Just in case they're like Gen 2 eggs. Which they could be. Excuse me, I'm leaving. I'll BRB with your food. Let's see, protein. Protein go in here. I could totally do, let's see. I could do, I wonder, can you mix eggs and chicken together in a meal? Let's find out. We're being dangerous. Let's see, so I could do chicken, egg. No, I have to do chicken, chicken, egg, don't I? Okay, so I could do poultry stew with boiled eggs. That's a little much, so I think I'll just do like separate chicken and egg meals. Or, hear me out, we could forget about this and let it rot. Which is a definite possibility. These don't last as long as I was hoping they would. Okay. Duly noted, game. Duly noted. Well, let's get the bones up here and the feathers. Maybe think about selling some feathers sometime soon, because we are not going to need all these feathers. Like a stack to a stack and a half of feathers is all you'll ever need in a game, even as a hunter. You just won't go through them all that fast. Oh, we have extra hides. Oh my goodness, I forgot these were here. Right, but I'm saving these for... I think I am saving them for parchment. Yes, okay. Possibly. We'll see. You know, you stay with me. All right. Family reunion in a chicken and egg meal. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, I put this other junk in here. Oh man. We need to expand so bad. I need to just start the big bad build soon. Hopefully we'll be able to. Once we get steel, once we get the steel plugs and we can go and quarry the giant blocks, we will start the final build. The final building. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Hey, we got them all. Okay, so we didn't lose anything to the whimsies of the game. Let's turn you off. Boop. So you're just free. What if I turn you on? Are you fast enough to worry or to be useful? Not really. I'm thinking we'll do some iron ingots during our next chore stream. That'll probably be the main feature, I think. It won't be next week. Won't be next week. let's get the... I almost called it Ovaltine. Let's get the Ovaltine back to the chest it belongs in. Ovaltine. Good night. Hey. Alright. The olivine in here. And we're good. Right. So we are pretty ready for the game to freeze for a second there. We're pretty ready to get to making the fire clay bricks. We won't make them tonight because I want to make them on stream with you folks. And yeah, we are good to go. And speaking of being good to go, it is time for me to go. So yeah. But thank you for hanging out tonight, guys. It was good to see you all. Good to chat. Got some great questions, both from the 20 questions and from you guys in chat. And I hope you enjoyed my answers to your questions. If you have more questions, yeah, the queue is empty now, so either drop them in a comment with the hashtag 20questions. That's questions with a K. Or head on over to the Discord server and go to the 20 questions channel and pop a question there. And I hope to see all of you on Sunday. We're streaming on the 18th. And then again the weekend after on the 25th. So hope to see you then. And until then, have a good night and have a good rest of the couple days. Rest of the week. But as always, my husband Chores are. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.